Chaos erupted on live television as U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham suddenly collapsed just moments after President Donald Trump, now the 47th leader of the United States, shocked the world by announcing a ceasefire between Iran and Israel. A development no one saw coming and which instantly froze the broadcast studio in stunned disbelief, while controversy swirled around the unexpected peace initiative that blindsided all of Washington. Behind the scenes, questions loomed about what secret diplomacy had transpired to produce such a moment of international significance. The show America Tonight had started like any other evening broadcast, but that illusion shattered the moment a breaking news alert interrupted the panel discussion. The host announced, visibly rattled, that President Trump was about to address the nation live from the White House, prompting every eye to turn toward the studio monitor where the presidential seal appeared. Then Trump emerged before the press, his voice solemn and unshakable as he declared that an immediate ceasefire agreement had been secured between Iran and Israel, effective at that very moment. The silence in the studio was absolute until the unthinkable happened before millions of live viewers. Senator Lindsey Graham, seated at the guest table, visibly stiffened as the blood drained from his face, then suddenly collapsed forward, his body crumpling under the bright studio lights with a sharp gasp that echoed through his mic. Panic swept through the studio as staff raced to his side. Camera operators hesitated between continuing coverage or cutting away, and the host screamed for medical help as the scene descended into chaos, while shocked Americans watching at home called loved ones in disbelief, some clutching their hearts as they witnessed history unfold in real time. On social media, Twitter exploded with real-time reactions as hashtags for both the ceasefire and Graham's collapse surged into trending territory, igniting a frenzy of speculation about the cause of his dramatic fall. Was it a panic attack, heart failure, or something more telling? As paramedics rushed to the scene and Graham lay motionless before cameras cut to black, the nation held its collective breath, sensing something seismic had shifted in Washington's shadowy corridors of power. Only minutes earlier, Graham had passionately defended military spending and strategic interests in the Middle East, repeating the usual rhetoric of intervention and American supremacy, but Trump's declaration instantly rendered such narratives obsolete, reshaping geopolitics with one decisive speech. At the White House, reporters hurled questions at Trump, demanding the reasoning behind his sudden pivot, and he answered with controlled resolve, declaring that he had chosen peace over war, life over death, and America's future over the blood-stained profits of endless conflict. Back in the studio, stunned producers whispered among themselves as medical staff wheeled Graham away, his eyes opened slowly in confused horror, and his first words revealed everything when he muttered, "No, this can't be happening to all our plans." Within hours, leaks from insider sources revealed that Graham had placed massive undisclosed bets on continued conflict through hidden investments in defense stocks and arms contracts, all of which collapsed the moment peace was declared. Trump's move hadn't just ended a war, it had detonated the corrupt machinery of Washington itself, exposing war profiteers who thrived off human suffering. As daylight broke over D.C., citizens began gathering in the streets, lighting candles and embracing strangers as impromptu vigils and celebrations erupted across the Capitol, while social media flooded with praise for Trump's courage, and videos of Graham's collapse looped endlessly across platforms, becoming a symbol of a corrupt order toppling in real time. A nurse from Chicago posted that she had lost her son in Iraq and wept watching Trump's speech, vowing no other mother should face such pain again, and that simple post went viral, humanizing the toll of war for millions. The White House switchboard was overwhelmed with calls from veterans, students, and families thanking the president for ending the cycle of bloodshed. During a follow-up emergency press conference, Trump didn't hold back as he declared that figures like Graham had long profited from war while sacrificing others' children, and he vowed never to let America serve their interests again. With fierce conviction, he stared into the cameras and told the world that war is not glory but grief, not patriotism but profit for the powerful, and as long as he remained president, he would never trade American lives for another man's dollar. Journalists quickly began uncovering Graham's web of foreign donations, leaked classified briefings, and corrupt ties to military contractors, But the American people already understood the deeper truth because they had seen it live. The collapse of a senator the very moment peace broke his grip on power. For the first time in years, America felt something increasingly rare, genuine hope for tomorrow instead of endless conflict as sirens pierced the silence of night, while Senator Lindsey Graham's ambulance sped toward George Washington Hospital, closely followed by media vans and reporters who gathered at the entrance, their cameras glowing like fireflies in the darkness, awaiting any updates from inside, where medical staff discussed stress-induced symptoms. But one observant in turn noticed something chilling on the senator's phone: a series of frantic messages from weapons industry representatives panicking about their contracts. Meanwhile, at the White House, President Trump sat privately with Gold Star families who had lost loved ones in past wars and spoke to them not as a distant politician but as a compassionate father figure, assuring them quietly that tonight no son or daughter was flying into danger because the nation had finally chosen peace over profit. Tears flowed freely as the weight of what had been spared settled in the room. Even hardened Secret Service agents struggled to maintain composure as they watched the emotional moments unfold. Back at the studio where Graham had collapsed, the floor still glistened with spilled water and tension. The host attempted to replay the moment, her voice cracking emotionally as she described the deep symbolism in Graham's physical reaction to the unexpected peace. Viewers flooded networks with messages sharing how deeply the moment had affected them. One person wrote, "I'm trembling uncontrollably. Peace actually feels possible now for the first time in my adult life." But inside a powerful office overlooking Capitol Hill, a different conversation unfolded as wealthy donors and defense executives gathered in crisis, trying desperately to reverse the narrative before it became irreversible. One furious contractor declared, "We have 48 hours to bury this before peace becomes popular and destroys everything we built, caring nothing for human lives, only for the billions they stood to lose if war stopped." At dawn, junior staffer Mia Delgado entered a small coffee shop, nervously clutching a USB drive. After just 6 months of working for Graham, she had seen enough to change her view of Washington forever. The tiny device in her pocket held damning evidence: emails, financial records, and classified memos exposing a network of war profiteering implicating dozens of powerful figures. She handed it discreetly to an investigative journalist known for exposing corruption, whispering, "People must know the truth before they bury it," forever fully aware that her whistleblowing likely meant the end of her career and possibly worse. Across town, Graham woke in a sterile hospital room filled with high-end monitoring equipment, immediately reaching for his phone to assess the financial carnage. Defense stocks had crashed, billions lost overnight, his retirement funds and investments wiped out. He gripped the phone so tightly his knuckles turned white. By noon, President Trump appeared in the Rose Garden surrounded by American flags and confidently told the press that peace would always outweigh greed when measured against human lives, and that anyone demanding war should be willing to personally carry a rifle if they truly believed in it. Applause broke out from the press corps, ignoring traditional norms as journalists cheered openly, and just as Trump finished speaking, Mia's files began to upload across national newsrooms, triggering urgent editorial meetings. Anchors gasped on air as the documents confirmed kickbacks, secret arms dealer meetings, and offshore accounts organized to profit from endless warfare. The truth burst through media gates like a flood, burying those who had built careers on manipulating foreign policy for personal gain. By evening, the scandal, dubbed Graham Gate, dominated every social platform, and veterans gathered outside the Capitol holding signs that read, "Peace is patriotic and no more blood." For profit, the National Mall glowed with candlelight vigils that looked like stars fallen to earth, celebrating a new direction for the nation. Inside lavish war rooms, lobbyists screamed into phones demanding that networks spin the narrative back toward fear, security, and military necessity. But their requests were denied, as even the networks refused to betray a peace movement rapidly gaining unstoppable public momentum. Ratings soared as Americans remained glued to every update, unwilling to miss even a moment of what felt like a turning point in their nation's history. In the Oval Office, Trump held secure calls with Israeli and Iranian leaders, speaking with firm resolve, but also empathy, emphasizing reconciliation over revenge, rebuilding over retaliation, and ending every call the same way: "We choose life today for all our children." At the hospital, Graham watched nervously as his empire unraveled. His lawyer entered with visible concern after reviewing the flood of evidence already hitting Justice Department servers, Senator, these documents are everywhere, and the insider trading is undeniable. Graham's fury exploded as he slammed his tray table, scattering water and pills as medical alarms blared and nurses rushed to restrain him across the street. Mia walked beneath the soft city lights, knowing her life would never be the same, but feeling a quiet strength for choosing truth over silence. For the first time, she felt taller than the monuments around her, unaware that across the country,